Well folks, it's quite rare you'll find me in a default aircraft, but here we are on approach to Innsbruck on the Maid 1 arrival, and I thought I'd take you with me for this little part, or last part, of the flight today. Wasn't really intending on making a video, but I'm in the Crystal Super, full native resolution, and Melissa's just sneezed. I'm not sure if you heard that or not, but yeah. She's in the back, by the way. She's just made me a coffee. And yeah, we've got our own private jet today. And just really enjoying these views here. And as I'm reflecting upon this headset, as I often do when I'm flying, about various VR headsets actually, but since I'm in the Super, I am very confident when I say this is, without question, the best PCVR flight simulation headset for the money. Now I say for the money because yes, technically they are better headsets out there. The Somnium VR1 with its mixed reality capabilities and the sharpness of that thing is very close to this. Not quite as good, but it's good enough. You get eye tracking, hand tracking, all the rest of it, but it's insanely expensive. This, on the other hand, is very good value for money. Amazing value for money when you think it is getting close now to retina levels of resolution. It's incredibly comfortable. It has a fantastic wide field of view. I mean, really good field of view. Class leading field of view. As well as really good aspheric lenses and a great warping profile. And one thing I do admit, even though the Megan X is where my heart is in terms of my daily driver, when I go back to the Crystal Super, it has what I call a wow factor. It definitely has a wow factor, and I think a lot of that is the combination of three major things for me coming together. That is that field of view, the aspheric lenses, which are really good in this, I cannot say that enough, and the clarity. And other things like the cute LED panel, the local dimming, and the brightness. Yeah, this is the best Pimax headset that's ever been released to date. Now, my headset doesn't have hardly any mirror at all, but I do appreciate that there is a risk there because you may get a headset with bad mirror. But don't worry, because you can replace it. You can send it back and even get a full refund because you have a 14-day trial period. And that's why, even though the Megan X is my daily driver most of the time, like, you know, 90% of the time, when I do fly in the Super, God, it's good. And I realise for most of you out there, it actually makes sense because of the great return policy and the features of this headset. It's a better all-rounder because you don't need base stations, you get controls with this. The software is better, it's a more stable platform. It's nicer on the eyes actually because of the sweet spot. Now, in case you're wondering, to get these insane visuals with the Crystal Super running at full native resolution in TAA mode, I'm running a powered by MSI Stormforce computer. That is a 9800 X3D with a MSI 5090. I do have a £300 discount off for that very PC. It's a flight sim spec PC. And I'm really glad to say many of you out there are now rocking Stormforce computers, especially those in the UK. And for very good reason. You can see here, it absolutely rocks. I friggin' love it. And it's a great match for the Super as well. Right, let me concentrate here because we need to descend quite rapidly, in fact. For some reason the VNav isn't working like I wanted it to. This is a default bird though, so that could be part of the reason why, but we definitely need to descend pretty damn quickly. This is the final part now of the Maid 1 arrival into Innsbruck. and it's just jaw-dropping. I hope it comes across half as good as what I'm experiencing in the headset here. The brightness as well of the mountain tops, the white caps, you know, with the sun glinting off the mountains, is insanely good. You know, I'm one of them people that if something isn't right and I'm not happy about something, I will tell you. And that's why I mentioned about Pimax's recent disaster, you know, in terms of their marketing strategy, trying to get people to post positive reviews. I told you about that. I also told you first about the lens issue with the crystal light, but I'll also tell you when I'm very excited about a headset. And this is one thing that I don't understand about Pimax. They don't need to buy positive reviews. The Crystal Super is already phenomenal. Let's go gear down now. It's already incredible. It just looks so good. Performs great, it's comfortable. It is by far the best flight simulation headset out there. Unless of course you want mixed reality, and that is the Somnium VR1. Or if you really want micro OLED, then it could be the Megan X. But the trouble is with that headset, it's a bit of a gamble, you know, especially with the returns policy, which is a great shame. I will say though that it is getting better, and most people are now very happy with their Megan X's, thanks to the community, and Shiftal are taking that feedback very seriously as well. And soon they'll hopefully have their own update to make the software much better, and it really needs to come out as soon as possible. And that's why I do recommend the Crystal Super over the Megan X for most of you out there. Especially because it has eye tracking as well, and different modules you can use, you know. This will have hopefully an OLED version at some point as well. Alright, let's just put the yoke on. Pitot is on, fuel pump now on. I think I'm going to go hands on. I can see the runway very clearly here. So let's go hands on. I have control of the aircraft, he says. Not sure if that's a good thing or not really. And we'll follow the glide path down here. So yeah, I am obviously recording this VR footage off the native image from one eye, so it's never going to look anywhere close. In fact, it's the first time now where in terms of clarity what you're seeing is not as good as what I can see in the headset. It used to be the other way around, but not anymore with the Crystal Super. Look at this. Just look at those visuals. We're doing, by the way, a offset approach, if you're wondering. And all is well so far. But it does look like Innsbruck is basking in sunshine here today. I'm in my motion rig, so I'm trying to keep things fairly steady on the camera. But I am moving around quite a bit in the turbulence. We're using Sim Update 3 Beta at the time of this recording, but you never know, by the time this goes live it could be officially released. Oh, that is just epic visuals. Still a bit high here. Just going to correct for that. Now there is a cafe on the left here. I remember stopping there once when me and Melissa was on our travels on the bike. And if I remember, I'll put a little photo in now. That was my old FJR. Amazing bike. Massive fan of the Yamaha FJR. Wow, this is, I'm getting thrown around here a bit. Okie dokie then. Flaring. A little bit quick. And we're down. I felt that through the yoke. Using the Moser force feedback yoke. And there we go. Welcome to Innsbruck. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed that today. This has been MSFS 2024 in the Crystal Super at full native resolution, using my latest MSFS 2024 settings guide, and just basically recapping on the Crystal Super. And as a flight simming headset, doesn't really get much better than this, especially for the money they're asking. Take care, folks. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now. You know what? I might do some skiing while I'm here. Some virtual skiing.